the scholars of the Muslim world, what was left of the scholarship, had to go underground in the colonial period. In order to survive, they had to wrap Islamic scholarship in what I would call a cocoon. You know the cocoon where the larvae wraps itself up, it goes into a type of hibernation, then comes out like a butterfly. So they wrapped up Islamic scholarship in the madrasas all around the Muslim world. And in doing this, the technological knowledge, the knowledge of the new developments in the 20th century went into the hands of people who were secular, who gave up their religion or compromised their religion in order to make material progress. And so the most important people in the Muslim world became doctors, lawyers, engineers, accountants, professional people. And if you're a doctor in Egypt, or in India or Pakistan, or most of the Muslim world, you're like a governor. Even though you're a medical doctor, you're like a governor, doctor. So you're a high person, you see? If you're an engineer, muhandis, then you're also a very high person. Okay, but you have secular education. So now the movements came and they established, the Islamic centers established, and people did the best they could do. But with the changes, the fall of communism, the fall of capitalism, secular system, Muslims could see that this is not the answer. So everybody said, we want Islam. And they brought the Maulana and the Sheikh and the Malvi out of the madrasa, and they said, you lead us now. Now this brother, and in some cases even educated sisters, came into the communities, knowing the Quran, knowing the Hadith. They could break it down, they could show you the tafsir, but if you tell them, apply this to the society, they're lost. Because they don't know what's going on. They're lost. Okay? And they're pushed out into the front of the leadership. Also in many cases, and I'm saying this with all sincerity, with all respect for those people who have Islamic knowledge, in many countries, they also represented the inferior intellectual class. In countries like Syria, up until today, it is a government policy. When you take the examinations at the end of a high school, the highest scoring students in the top 5 to 10% all go to medical school, whether you like it or not. Even if you don't like blood, you go to medical school because you're the highest score. The next ones become engineers, lawyers, and then accountants. And finally, the people who couldn't make it on the test, you go to Quran school. You go to the madrasa and you study Sharia. And so the people who couldn't make it, the grade, are the ones who they send to the Quran school, man. Because the government is secular, and the government does not want any opposition from Islam. Now, in places like Syria, in many countries, many people resisted this, and they took some of their good children, or the most intelligent children, I should say, put them secretly into madrasas, had them study in medical school, and they also went to madrasa at the same time. But unfortunately, it's the exception. It's not the rule. That's the unfortunate reality. So therefore, many of the scholars who are put out front and asked to deal with complex situations don't have the capacity to do this. They don't know what you're talking about. They haven't even entered the discourse. They haven't entered the discourse. That's the problem. So that's the reason why we're getting lopsided fatwas, right? Unwise decisions that counteract the dawah, that destroy organizations,